It's National Signing Day here at the University of Miami. Don Bailey with head coach Mario Cristobal. And coach, go down this list. Pretty impressive day. I mean, very impressive. Let's start with Ahmad Moten, D lineman, local guy. Like those big three techniques.
Those guys are hard to find, and they're hard to find locally, right? Typically, you don't see many large human beings playing at the line of scrimmage in South Florida, but more and more as the years go by, due to the elimination of the weight classes, mind you, in the youth leagues, has promoted more big guys to play football. So, you know, Ahmad, you know, he's all of 6'3", and whoever listed him at 280 must have weighed him on the moon where there's no gravity, because he's more in the 320-pound range, and he is a really explosive, hard-nosed, tough football player, and dynamic in the sense that he's a true three technique. You know, he's not just a guy that clogs up the line of scrimmage. He's a dynamic pass rusher for a man that size. Really good athlete. His body is just starting to develop as well. Had a really good season right up the road. His brother was an excellent player here. I told him repeatedly, because I'm a little brother, I told him we're recruiting you independently of your brother. He has nothing to do with your recruitment. But awesome family, and a guy that really wants to put his foot in the ground and say, hey, the best players in our backyard are going to stay home. Ahmad Moten.
You've got Trevante, citizen running back. Now, I like the fact that he's from Louisiana. I mean, University of Miami going into Louisiana, had success in that state. A guy named Reggie Wayne, I think, was one of them. But
yeah, he's not bad.
he's not bad, but that's a big pickup for Miami.
I think I could tell the years by where new gray hairs come on in, and that streak right there belongs.
Mine
to
or yours,
Trevante.
Coach?
Mine belonged to him, because that one came to fruition as I was on an ACC conference call, where I had to actually go, you know, block screen and mute and get out the room to attend to it. But no, he's exactly what you look for in a back. Big speed, power guy. All of 6'1", all of 215 on his way to 25. A track athlete as well, so he's cranking out great times in the 100. Massive quads, massive legs. Can catch the ball out of the backfield, can line up detached and make plays. He's an every down back at that size. And you know, he makes people not want to tackle him as the games were on. And it was everybody in the country on him, everybody. So, but I know he really enjoyed his time here at Miami, loved the culture, loved the university, and so yeah, that's what a blessing.
Is it safe to say Miami's going to run the football?
Well, we're going to be balanced now. I mean, we truly are, because Miami's really good when we do both things really well, and you wish you could be 50-50 right down the middle, but there are games we might have to throw 75% of the time or run it the same way. So, we will establish the line of scrimmage.
Inez Cooper, offensive lineman. I'm going to let you say the size, because I don't know if it's a typo or not. 6'6", 350, 400, 375, but another young man from Southeastern Conference territory, Alabama, and I think the future's pretty bright for him.
Well, you know, he's got great coaching. All these guys too. Trevante has great coaching. Ahmad, you know, up in Cardinal Gibbons, Coach Dubuque, Coach Montel. I mean, just great coaches surround these guys. And Inez, his coaches, Coach LeBeau, Coach Cox, they had told me a while back, you've got to keep your eye on this guy. This guy's 400 pounds, but he moves like a 300-pounder, and he's working at it. And so his footage came in, and it looked like a polar bear out there just slapping people around. I mean, he's a really unique talent and an awesome young man. 6'6" plus. We weighed him, I think it was 358, 368, in that range, but so light on his feet, so much power. I mean, just big, powerful, balance, body control, light on his feet, heavy-handed, plays both defense and offense, and then music to my ears, and just death to the defensive line coaches when I asked him, Inez, call him Big Vel, okay, his middle name abbreviated, and I'll say, so what do you want to play? And he says, right guard. I said, I'm very happy about that D-line coaching. I'll be real happy. So, but he's a guy that situationally will play some defense too.
All right, Coach. Then you picked up another offensive lineman, right, from Creekside in Jacksonville.
That's right.
Tell us about him.
Matthew McCoy, two-sport athlete. When you recruit a tackle, what do you want? You want power forwards.
That's right.
Right? You want 6'5", 6'6". You want long, rangy guys that can bend and twist, get out of really weird body positions, can recover, run a defensive end, by a quarterback, put a foot in the ground, anchor and take on a bull rush. That's what Matthew is. Matthew McCoy is at 292 pounds, and you couldn't tell. Lean, long, athletic as can be, just really growing, just starting to get a feel for what he can be as a football player. And one thing, Coach Kehoe used to tell us all the time when he's watching film, the guy's never on the ground, right?
Big part of it.
Yeah, there's something, I don't know why he recruited me. I spent plenty of time on the ground with these other guys. They're way better athletes.
But so did he. Let me remind you, he spent a lot of time
on the ground, no doubt. No doubt. But Matthew is an absolute stud. Awesome family. All these guys, just incredible families. They fit, they were promised hard work and an opportunity, and they jumped all over it, and that gets me more excited.
Coach, I want you to take a minute with Skinner and Moss. They kind of missed the bright lights, right? They were a little after, and now they're here, they're working, and you need to spend a little time on those two guys too.
Oh, you have to. Two best players at their positions in the country. It might be good to give them a little love,
pump,
a little
right?
sugar. Yeah, those guys. And they were late, right? They were end up being later signees in the first signing period. And Jaleel, they're both here right now. They're both training, so we got to peek at them out there running around. My oh my. My oh my, that's what Miami, that's what I know Miami to look like. Just really, really explosive. Both guys, just incredible range. They could run like the wind. They could put a foot in the ground, change direction, really get twisted up, get those pads down, bend, and come out of those positions. Just no hip and ankle stiffness or limitations. I mean, these guys are truly dynamic, large, long athletes. Cyrus has ball skills too, but we're not going to talk about that. Jaleel he's a mismatch. He's a mismatch. You flex him out there, you put him in the core, don't matter, he's going to get it done. And same thing for Cyrus. Both these guys are developing their bodies. They're on the thinner side, but still have all the great ones that have come through here, right? Gregory Rousseau always comes to mind about that. So they're chowing down. They're about to get a tremendous dose of Cuban food this weekend because we're allowed to do those occasional meals. And they will be introduced to the empanada and the croqueta. Okay, so by the time they come in next week and Coach Fell puts them on the scale, he's going to be very pleased.
He'll be up 5 or 10 pounds.
He'll be up at least 5 or 10.
Coach, you put the first part of your recruiting class together. You put the second part. There's a lot of people that are involved in this that are unsung heroes. Let's recognize some of those people.
Where do we start? It's
how clean the place is.
Yeah,
right?
the maintenance staff, the cleaning crew. I mean, it's what they do. I'm gonna find them after it's all said and done and make sure we take care of them. They round the clock, making sure that everything looked like a 5-star hotel. When people walked in the building, when we parked the cars outside, there wasn't a blade of grass out of place, man. That's how much pride they take in the University of Miami, and people notice that. And when they meet them, people feel that, so critically important. The administrative staff, the recruiting staff, the video department, how about those guys? How about what graphics and editing did with those awesome videos? Can you imagine us back in the day trying to do that? I don't think we'd.
Your day you had color. My day was black and white.
Well, exactly. So probably doesn't fit, but just around the clock. Those things take time, and they take their creativity behind that outstanding as well. Sabrina doesn't get enough. Sherelle Jackson, the academic staff. They are around the clock involved because of their love for the University of Miami. And when you work at a place you have passion for, it shows. And the message to recruits is, I'm not sure who's recruiting you. That's not my concern. I know that myself and a lot of guys here wore this thing. So it's different. It's not just a t-shirt and you're not getting a sales pitch because it's a job. It doesn't get more real than that. And it showed in everyone. Everyone truly busted their tails. Quality control guys, graduate assistants, volunteers, you name it, everybody was working around the clock, so I got to get them, I need to get them some empanadas, but I got to do.
I think you better double up. Coach, when you look at how you approach recruiting, Coach Schnellenberger came in and it was, the state of Miami. Well, You know, nowadays it's the state of Florida, but this has got to be a national approach every single day of every single year to get this program where it needs to be. It's got to be national.
It does. You know, at Miami, you can cast a wide net and be successful. You just have to make sure that you don't want to fly over a bunch of good players to go get one that maybe is not as good.
Right.
Or that might be the same, but the intangibles of the one closer to home are going to be that much greater, thus giving you a better player, a better teammate, a better citizen, member of the organization. So you've got to trust your eyes. We've got to add more people to our recruiting and personnel department with eyes that we can trust, because it's like a filter, right? You know, there's tons of tape coming in. It's got to be cut up, and we want every ounce of tape. I want to see them playing basketball. I want to see them at some of these recruiting events. I want to see them do a broad jump, a shuttle run. I want to see them do a track event. I want to watch 3 and 4 and 5 and 600 reps of this young man playing or any kind of activity or performing at any kind of event. So, and then really just finding the standard deviations between, you know, is the separation here, you know, 2 degrees, is it 10? Is it even? The intangibles here are that much better, because these games are coming down to a drive, a play, a point, and you've got to find those advantages in all these little things that you do, your in-home visits, your on-campus camp evaluations. You've got to really, it's not about, oh, I think he can play, we can get him. No, that's not the thing here. These are all excellent players. They're great. These are elite. That's the best one. We got to go get that one. And he fits us. And he should be here, because the things that he wants are aligned with our principles and values and what we want for him. And being very genuinely aggressive in them understanding our passion for the University of Miami.
The importance of your off-season program, your fourth quarter program, what's going on right now before spring kicks off?
Well, they're at it, full throttle right now. We're in the middle of week 2. You know, we had a team meeting to start things off, addressing the importance of making sure that early is on time, and how we do anything is how we do everything. So that's the way it's going to be. You know, we have a lot of work to do. It's not time to tweet, proclaim greatness or whatnot. We've got a good group of young men that have made it clear in meeting with myself that we all want to build a championship program. And the keyword build, which equals work your tail off every single day of your life and avoid anything that doesn't help contribute to being the very best student athlete you can be. It goes on and on. That's a very large definition, right? But that's what let's go build, that's what build means. So I think we're on the same page, but as a staff, we're going to push each other. As an organization, we're going to push each other. It is our obligation to make sure we present these players with the best Power 5 experience they can have. So that's what we're committed to.
Coach, when you're out on the road, the value that the U has, I mean, I know what it is to you, and I know what it is to me, but what's the national perspective of the University of Miami?
I go back to what I said, you know, upon arrival, the blessing of being back here was when the U is on, there's nothing like it. And everyone feels what's coming. And they feel what's coming because they know that we're serious, that the university is serious about investment, and combined with a work ethic that refuses to be matched. So it means elite, it means the best of the best. It's out there, you know. These young men, they watch, parents have watched, you know. They know, and they also know that we're ready to get to work.
Pretty important to you too.
Oh.
Say the least.
Oh man, if one way we'll put it in words, hard to articulate.
One day, right?
One day.
One day.
One day.
Well, Coach, thanks for joining us on National Signing Day. We appreciate it. And Don Bailey with head coach Mario Cristobal on a very, very successful National Signing Day.